So, we are going to start today chapter 1 of your class 11 syllabus, that is sets. Okay, so now firstly we need to know that why we are studying this chapter. What are the necessary things that we are going to learn from this chapter? Well, sets are used to define the concepts of relation and functions. So about functions, you will come to know about functions in the next chapter. So with the knowledge of this chapter, I will be using this knowledge to learn more about the chapters which you are going to see in our next classes. Okay, now this concept which we learn from this chapter, we can use it in our geometry, in probability, and many other different things, aspects of mathematics. So set speaks of collection of objects which share a certain relation or characteristics. Okay, so it means what? And suppose I say a set of class 11 students. So all the class 11 students forms a set. Okay, then what is the characteristic shared by all those students? That they are set of class 11 students. So same as class 5 students, class 6 students. So all those students which belong to class 5, they will form a set. Understood? So set is what? Collection of objects. Now here we say a set that vowels in English alphabet. So A, E, I, O, U. Now when we are talking about vowels, right? So A, E, I, O, U, they are what? Vowels of an English alphabet, right? So they form a set. Understood? Clear? Now you say prime numbers less than 15. And we already know that what are prime numbers less than 15? That is what? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. We made a mistake in here. There is no 2 in here. So I have to write 2 also has to be in there. Understood? Clear? So 2 is the only even prime number. I think if or else we would have written in here not even prime numbers. So prime numbers less than 15 will be 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. So they form a set. Understood? So they follow a certain characteristics. Okay, each element follow a certain characteristic. What is the characteristics? The characteristics is that they are prime numbers, that is less than 15. Clear? So let's move to the next slide. Now what is set? We basically know why do we use set. Now we need to know what is set. A set is a well-defined collection of objects. Now why is it known as well-defined? So well-defined means what? That we need to define, we need to properly say that what is the characteristic shared by the objects by which we are segregating them from others. Clear? Suppose I say in a school, I want all the class 11 students to stand in one way and all the class 12 students to stand in the other way. So I am defining it. I'm defining it that you guys are class 11 students and you guys are class 12 students. So don't mix it up. Okay, so a set, when they ask you what is a set, a well-defined collection of objects. Now collection of all cities of India, you can directly say it's in India it is Deepu, then you have Calcutta, then you have Mumbai, then you have Guwahati. There are so many cities, right, which you can particularly say. So if I say Guwahati, then you can say it's a city of India. So it is a set. Why it's a set? Because it's very well defined. Understood? Now if I say collection of 5 most intelligent student of Deepu. Now 5 most intelligent student. How can you define 5 most intelligent student? There is no test to define one person to be intelligent than the other. Okay, clear? So 5 most intelligent student which cannot be well defined. So it is not a set. Okay, now what are the important points to remember? The important points are sets are usually denoted by capital letters. So we will denote a set with capital letters, that is A, B, C, X, Y, Z, like that. Understood? Now, the elements of a set are represented by small letters. Now, a question will come into your head that what are elements of a set? Elements of a set are nothing but, you see, when I define a set, collection of all cities of India, I say Guwahati is one city, right? That is of India. So, Guwahati becomes element of this set. Understood? Clear? Mumbai becomes element of this set. Clear? Okay, so elements will be represented by small letters A, B, C, like that. Now here we had vowels of an alphabet. We are writing A, E, I, O, U. Why not capital A? Why not capital E? Because elements of the sets are defined by small letters. Okay, denoted by small letters. Now the next one. So example A, it's written in here. A, look at here. This is the set A. So a set is denoted by capital letters. A is equal to, what is that set? Set is set of vowels in English alphabet. Where A is the set, I already told you that set is denoted by capital letters. So A is the set and A, E, I, O, U are its elements. So what are the elements of this set? A, E, I, O, U. Okay. Now if they say A, this thing, it looks like E, right? And this symbol is known as element of. A is an element of set A. You see A, this thing. Obviously it's in the set. So that's why this A is an element of this set A. Understood? These two are not same. This is small a, that is an element. This is capital A, that is a set. But B is not an element of A. Why B is not an element of A? Because the characteristics of the set A is that it consists set of vowels, right? Where B is not a vowel, right? That's why B is not an element of A. Am I clear? Okay. Now let's move on to the next slide. So what's the next slide says? It says set of numbers. So there are various set of numbers are there. So first thing I will say N. N signifies for set of natural numbers. W signifies for set of whole numbers. So natural number starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and it goes on like that. Whole number starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and it goes on like that. Now set of all integers. So one thing, what are set of all integers? It's like that, minus infinity, minus 2, minus 1, so dot dot dot, minus 2, minus 1, then 0, then you have 1, 2, like that. So these are called set of integers. Okay, it goes on like that. Right? Now set of rational number. Integers goes in the left hand side also, goes continuously increasing in the left hand side and continuously increasing in the right hand side. Okay. Now let's move on to the rational numbers. Now what are rational numbers? Rational numbers are those numbers which can be expressed in the form of P by Q, where Q is not equal to 0. Am I clear? These things we have learned before in our previous classes, not class 11, in previous class means class 10, class 9, those things. Now set of real numbers. What are real numbers? We all know what are real numbers, right? So all the fractions, all these numbers are included. Real numbers are divided into two groups, that is rational number and irrational number. We all know what are rational number and irrational number. Okay, irrational numbers are what? Numbers which are not rational. It means what? Numbers which cannot be expressed in the form of P by Q. Example is what? Pi. Okay. Now look at here. Z plus is for positive integers. Look, Z for integers, Z plus is for positive integers. Now Z minus, obviously if it is positive, it will be negative integers. Clear? And T is for set of irrational numbers. Okay? Clear? Now here bottom I just written in here that these are very, very important for your various problems in mathematics which you will face after this chapter. Clear? Okay? Let's move on to the next slide. So what we have in here. Now this is very, very important step towards learning about sets. Representation of sets. In what way do we represent a set? There are two methods to represent a set. One is roster or tabular form and the other one is set builder form. Okay. Now roster form. In roster form, all the elements of a set are listed. The elements are being separated by commas and are enclosed within braces. Just read it carefully, then you will get it. So in here what happens is, in roster form, all elements of a set are listed. So I will just write all the elements one by one. The elements are separated by commas. I will separate each element by a comma and are enclosed within braces. So what I am doing, if I say a set of all vowels in an English alphabet is V. So I am just giving the name of the set as, denoting it as capital V, right? And that is equal to what? Do you see? Second brace starts, second brace ends. A, comma, E, comma, I, comma, O, comma, U. So all the elements are listed and they are separated by commas and they are enclosed by the second bracket. Understood? Clear? Now let's move on to set builder form. Now what is a set builder form? In set builder form, the property which is possessed by the elements is denoted. So in set builder form, they're saying that the elements is not important. What is important? The characteristics of the elements are important. Clear? So in here, I don't have to list all the elements. I will just write the characteristics shared by the elements. Clear? So V, that was the set, the denotation of the set, it will remain same. V was the set of all vowels, right? So it is V. But now the way I represent it is changed. Second bracket open, the second bracket will be there. X colon X is a vowel in English alphabet. We will discuss this one in our next slide. But look at here, X is a vowel in English alphabet. Understood? So this is the characteristics which is shared by each of them, each of the elements, right? But here the elements are not listed in here, but the characteristics of the elements are stated in here. Understood? So this is set builder form and this is roster form. So let's move on to the next slide. Now the next slide says, what is a roster form? We have already know what is a roster form, but there are certain conditions which roster form must follow. Okay. The first thing, the order in which the elements are listed is immaterial. Now what do you mean by that? Here I have written the set of vowels as A, E, I, O, U, right? The order is immaterial. What do you mean by that order is immaterial? The meaning is that if I write E, A, O, I, U, it is the same set. So the order in which we write the elements, it does not matter. Clear? So this is also set of vowels in English alphabet. Okay. Now the next point is, an element is not repeated while representing a set in roster form. So it says what? When I am writing the elements, suppose I am writing like this. Suppose I have 1, 2, 2, 3. I have here one element as repeated, that is 2 is repeated. So I don't need to write like this. So this one will be 1, 2, 3. This is the way how should I write. Elements is not repeated while representing in roster form. So what is, let's give an example. Set of letters of the word college is, you see, I will write what? C, comma, O, comma, L, comma, L, comma, E, comma, G, comma, E. C, O, L. This one I don't have to write because we have already written E, G. This one I don't have to write because, look at here. College is what? C, O, L, L, E, G, E. C, O, L. I don't need to write this L because L is already there. E, G. I don't write E because E is already there. Understood? Now the next one, set of even whole numbers is, even whole numbers is what? 0, 2, 4, 6, dot, dot, dot. Now you see here, obviously whole number starts from 0 and 0 is an even number. Please make it sure that you know. Now the dot signifies that the list of elements continue indefinitely because it goes on 8, 10, 12, 14, it's like that. Okay, that's why dot, dot, dot. So dot, dot signifies that it goes on. Clear? So let's move on to the next slide. Now it says set builder form. So what is set builder form? The elements of the set is represented by X. Now what elements? Look at here. In here we had set of vowels A, E, I, O, U, right? They are saying that in the set builder form, the x in here, the first x, this one, this x, this x denote x, they denote every single element of the set. Understood? This x, the first x, denote every single element of the sets. Now it says that after the colon, the characteristics property shared by all the elements of the set is mentioned. You see, after the colon, what I have written in here, X is a vowel in English alphabet. So after the colon, the characteristic property of the set is mentioned. Am I clear? Then what it says? The colon stands for such that. The colon stands for such that. So now let's see an example in here. A is given by x colon, x is a natural number and 3x is greater than 3 but less than 10 is read as, how should I read this thing? The set of all x, the set of all x such that x is a natural number and x lies between 3 and 10. Understood? Now if I have to write this one in roster form, this one will be what? Look at here. This one will be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is our set. This is set builder form. This is our roster form. Understood? Clear?